guys, it's Alexis.
And Christian from Tiny House Expedition. And today we're here to show you guys this super cool ADU. And make sure you guys stick around to the end so you can hear our thoughts on how to make this tiny house Airbnb better for full-time living. And this beautiful little Airbnb is located in LA County, California.
It's an ADU, which just means accessory dwelling unit. So that means it's a tiny house in a backyard, also known as a backyard cottage.
So what I like about the outside is this terracescaping. So it's got all these like succulent plants with rock and just cool little seating area. So it just looks really cool.
Yeah, it's very enchanting and private feeling, even though it's just behind a larger house. And part of that are the trees, but also this great privacy wall that they built.
So one of the coolest things about this little square ADU is to make it feel less square, they put this indention at the front door just to create like this little architecture moment. And they did something really simple by just painting the siding black and putting natural colored 2x2s over the top of it. You've created this cool little pattern in the indention in the front door.
Yeah, it creates more dimension, which I really like. And that's just something easy that anyone could do.
Simple, yeah.
Now we'd love to show you the inside of this 350 square foot backyard cottage.
All right, let's go. All right, welcome to this 16 by 22 foot adorable tiny house on foundation.
It is, it's so cute. And for a studio style tiny house, I think this is one of the best I've seen. You know, it's almost a perfect square and single level, and that can be hard to create a fully functional house sometimes, but they did it here without feeling like a hotel room, which sometimes I feel like other tiny houses like this feel like.
Yeah, you're totally right. Even though this is a studio apartment, there is a sense of separation between things like the bedroom and the kitchen.
So here in the entryway, which is a little nook, has things that we always like, which you probably know by now. A place to hang your jacket and to put your keys and your mail when you come in the door.
And what I like is using that space behind the door because it is more efficient design when you do that.
Yeah, you're not wasting this area, which can be overlooked. There's also a great spot for a seat here, which is perfect for putting on your shoes, transitioning to your house shoes, which we like to do.
I do that all the time, yeah.
I am absolutely in love with this bedroom / living room.
Yeah, it's super cute.
And a lot of it has to do with this accent wall. It's adorable.
It's got like little creatures with hats on and books and crowns.
And an accent wall is always a great idea in a small space because it adds dimension. This is a king bed, which is also going to be your sofa in this situation.
Yep.
But fortunately that flat screen TV is on an arm, so you can move the TV so you can have comfy viewing space.
What I think every single Airbnb should have is this luggage rack. I mean, having a luggage rack, a place to put and open your luggage, to me is super important because it's an Airbnb. I'm traveling, so I'm gonna have that suitcase with me.
Absolutely. And thinking about this as a full-time living house, I really like that you can walk all the way around the bed, which is not unusual in a lot of houses, but after living in a tiny house on wheels for many years, I hated making the bed up in the loft. It was always aerobic, got a little sweaty sometimes, and I just look at this and I think, oh, so easy.
When she was making the bed in the tiny house loft, every once in a while, her hair was so long she would kneel on it. So it wasn't the easiest thing to do.
User error. Ponytails exist. For a 350 square foot tiny house, this kitchen is pretty darn spacious. And the thing that I think I most appreciate about the layout is this L shape, because that's what makes it feel separate from the rest of the house. It becomes a room just because of this little space, which also provides perfect seating for two, because this home would be really great for a single person or a couple. As you can see, there is a ton of storage in this tiny, not so tiny kitchen, so perfect for the home cook. I cook all the time, and I definitely appreciate how much cookware and pantry space there is. If you were an Airbnb guest in this tiny house, there's more storage than you probably would know what to do with. But if you're like us, it's always great to do some of your own cooking when you travel to save some money. So I do appreciate having plenty of room to put away groceries. I really dig this corner open shelving because it adds, of course, nice decorative appeal. Because sometimes having all closed cabinetry in a tiny house can feel too closed in. So open shelving creates a nice balance. But I will say in here, it doesn't feel that way, and it's probably because of how wide it is. Over here you'll see there's a nice big old sink, which is perfect for doing dishes, because Lord knows having a tiny sink in a tiny house is so annoying because you need room for pots. You know, this is a cooking kitchen. So that's nice. And then back here they have an adorable retro style fridge. You gotta love those. They do come with a higher price tag, so be aware. One thing you'll notice here is the direction the doors open. Not ideal for putting away groceries. It would be much more ergonomic if it opened the other way. It's always a huge pet peeve of Christian. And basically any house we go into, when he sees this, he offers to fix it for somebody. Because most fridges come with the option to install the door on either side. This one doesn't look like it can, so be sure to check before you purchase. Oh man, I'm hungry. I want something quick and easy and also healthy, but that's a tall order. That's why I'm so happy to have discovered Hungry Root, a hybrid meal delivery and online grocery store. It might just be the easiest way to eat healthy. To try it out, take a short quiz about your health goals, food preferences, budget, and more. What I most appreciate is the incredible selection of quick and easy recipes. More than half can be prepared in less than 15 minutes. When I find myself famished at the end of a long day, I know I can have a delicious, healthy meal ready soon. So I won't be tempted to go for a junk food meal. Another reason I've enjoyed trying their service is being introduced to new recipes for every meal and new snacks to try. I love that they have healthier desserts too. The first 100 people to use our code tinyhouse40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. See the link in the description or scan the QR code and use code tinyhouse40 to get 40% off.
So over here we have the biggest storage space, which is the closet. And one of the good things that they did was they put mirrors on here, so it makes it feel much bigger because it feels like it's doubling when you're looking that way. So going inside this space, we have the usual suspects. There is a place to put your laundry, some linen storage, and big thing, you know, you can do some hanging clothes right here, which is great. And on the other side, washer dryer combo. Alexis and I have never used a washer dryer combo, but we have heard mixed reviews about it. Some absolutely love it, some hate it. We have heard that it could take upwards of 2 hours to wash and dry clothes. So think about that if you are researching on a washer dryer combo. And down this little hallway is the bathroom. So this is a great spacious bathroom for a tiny house. It has a good bit of storage under the sink and actually behind the door because it has a second mirror with a little medicine cabinet behind it. One of the things I hate with sinks is when the faucet doesn't go to the center of the sink, because you go to wash your hands and you splash water all over the backsplash and stuff. That makes me crazy. So this is right in the center, so thumbs up for that. And another thing is having natural light, having a window in a bathroom. So that to me is super important. And for a tiny space, this shower is huge. This is the kind of shower I would love to have.
both really dig this tiny house backyard cottage, but we have some ideas for how you can maximize it to be even better for full-time living.
We always have ideas.
It's true.
So if you're building a tiny house on foundation, or you have like a one-car garage, this is about the size of a one-car garage. So hopefully this will give you some ideas on how to do a layout for something that's square.
Overall, I say this entryway is like pretty functional as is.
Totally.
But there's definitely some opportunities to really maximize this space. And beginning with the bench here, yeah, why not make it a storage bench? Because we've established it's not a comfy sofa.
Right, at least a storage bench, right?
Yeah, because I mean, you could fit a love seat there, but I feel like it's a little bit of a cramped spot.
Yeah, totally. And it would be good because then, you know, when you take off your shoes, they're just going underneath it or something. They're not going in something, so.
And then you could store bulky things inside. While I like that because it's a twofer, you get the shoe storage and other storage stuff, you could also just add a shoe rack over here in the corner. But there's a lot more you can do here, don't you think?
Absolutely. And if you're handy, other than putting storage here, you could do an entire built-in on this huge wall. So you could do shelves down the bottom with drawers. You could put a little, you know, cubbies up top. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in this little space.
Yeah, as part of that, you can like basically make a coat closet with shoe storage, jacket storage, a bench, shelves for books for all the book lovers out there. Yeah, I really love that idea.
And you can do all of that around the window. You don't have to cover up the window.
And I think that's definitely an idea if you own this tiny house, but if you were renting it, doing the simpler furniture option like we mentioned would probably be the way to go. The bedroom/living area in this tiny house has the most potential for improvement. And one super easy way to better maximize this space would be to do storage under the bed. And you can actually find some really great containers. You've probably seen them.
Yeah.
Those like long, kind of short containers. Great for storing off-season clothes.
So I think one of the most obvious things to do with the bed is actually to do a Murphy bed.
100%.
Yes, and what I would do is put it on this wall where the TV is because it's got the space, it's got the height, and it would fold up perfectly against that wall.
Absolutely, and then you can still have this great window here because there's not a ton of windows in here, so we really want as much glass as possible. It makes a small space feel bigger. And Christian, don't you think there are more Murphy bed options out there than ever before?
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah, there's ones that fold up on their side or the traditional vertical style. You can get them as inexpensive DIY kits or you can go super fancy. So besides just a bed, you can do a bed but with a real couch, not just like a bench like those. But even better, which I think would be perfect here, is a Murphy bed with a couch and storage unit on the sides.
Yes, absolutely.
And this could be a mix of wardrobe and open shelving so it doesn't feel too bulky in here.
And another idea is over here against that wall, that little wall right there, is to put a TV stand. It can even stick out because what you're gonna do is create a zone. You're gonna have more of an entryway on that side, more of a living space on that side.
I really like that idea a lot because then it creates this more cozy, homey feel, but still retains openness.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think because there's that great privacy wall outside, I think you could use more light in here, so getting some light filtering curtains, you know, the ones that can come down from the top or the bottom, I think those would be great in here just to create more light.
Yeah.
This kitchen is pretty much perfect for full-time living already, but I have a couple ideas to make it even better. I'll have to admit they're kind of personal preference things. And one of them is lighting. I think it's a little bit on the dark side here, and I always like lots of lighting options, particularly in the evening, so I can have nice soft light wherever I go. So one thing I would do is to put some under cabinet LED light strips. These could be color changing, dimmable, you know, whatever you like, but it just gives a little pop and a nice soft option in the evening time. Another thing that would do is to create more working light, which is good for doing things like chopping on your cutting board or working over the stove. And with all these cabinets, there are endless organization ideas that you can do to better maximize some of these. Like this tall shelf here, you can add shelf organizers to create 2 tiers, great for things like spices. Another thing I always like is to have my trash can on a slide out, because I find it's easier to get the food scraps in without getting them all over the cabinet, and it's also easier for changing a trash bag.
So some of the ways I think you can improve this closet space is to basically make it more dense. So what you could do is, leave hanging clothes up here, build or purchase a dresser for the bottom here, so you actually have some drawers to put things in, which would be fantastic. And on the other side, if for some reason you really didn't like the combo washer dryer, in a spot like this, you could actually fit a stackable washer dryer. It takes some shoving in there, but I'm pretty sure you could get it in. This bathroom is great as is, but if you were gonna do full-time living, maybe you want just a little more storage. So there's a handful of things that you could do. Like up high, it's like wasted space. So you could create some shelving up there just so you could put towels or whatever things that you need in the bathroom. I do like that little medicine cabinet is there, because you always want things you can hide. But you could also include in here a over the toilet like stand little thing that can hold a myriad of things. So that is a great solution. Oh yeah, and if you're a bathtub person, you could totally get a bathtub in here.
Well, what would you do in this tiny house to make it work for you as a full-time home? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.